Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is aliens to citizenship, dollar, war, communists, and surveillance. If I can get through it all, I got a lot to cover. Yes, please subscribe to the channel and also join Prophecy Club, $9.90 a month or more. Still don't know what happened. I guess it's tax time, but we're in a real dip. So if you could help us with a donation, that would be a really good time. And also, I started to go into the refrigerator and just actually, I tell you what, here, I will actually get one. Here, hang on just a second. Okay, first time I paused a recording. I hope it works. But anyway, so I went to the refrigerator and I actually got a loaf of bread that I've actually made. Now, we put it into a plastic bag like this and keep it in the refrigerator. And typically I'll make 2 loaves about every 2 weeks. Now, I'll actually show you what I've done. So this is the last 2 slices. The heel, which I typically get. Leslie likes them too. But anyway, this is a whole wheat slice of bread. That is a meal. In the mornings, I will typically put some jelly on that, or maybe some of that cream, that way of cream cheese. And Leslie, this is where she's broke it in half. Normally it's half. That looks like about a quarter. She doesn't eat a whole slice. But what I'm trying to, obviously not planned, what I'm trying to say is, I think that this is what humans are supposed to eat. As you know, Jesus likened us to wheat as it is to tares. And I think it's because it's wheat is what we're supposed to eat. And I will take this and I'll put this in the toaster. We keep it in the refrigerator. But when you put it in the toaster, it's still good the next morning. I've got to reach down and get this. So this is about, actually it's about a quarter of a slice. And I eat one for breakfast and one for lunch. And I've lost weight. My blood pressure's come down. My cholesterol's come down. I feel good, and I would typically have a slice before I go play racquetball because it actually gives me energy. I mean, I've tried all kinds of potions, lotions, and pills, all kinds of sports drinks, and nothing is as good as a slice of bread. I know it sounds funny, slice of bread before I go play racquetball. So I strongly recommend you go to Joseph's Kitchen. There's an S on the end of that, Joseph's Kitchen. And get yourself a machine package. That's the gizmos where, here's what happens. Okay, so they send it to you in like 7-gallon plastic pails, not paper bags that don't last. And it's infused with nitrogen, so it's going to last 25 years maybe. And so you take 4 cups of this, follow the recipe. There's all kinds of recipes up there. Put it into a grinder, push a button, 30 seconds later, it turns it into flour. Put that into a bread machine with 5 other ingredients, yeast and olive oil and things like that. Push a button. 2 hours, 40 minutes later, you've got a nice, hot, steaming loaf of whole wheat bread. And that typically will last, one loaf lasts me and Leslie about a week because she kind of picks here and there and she doesn't eat as much as I do. Anyway. And I think it is God's famine food. It's what we're really supposed to be having for an emergency. And we were talking about it, had some friends over, and one of my friends boils it. He says he boils it for anywhere from 1 to 3 hours, depends on how soft he wants it to be. So in an emergency, you can actually take out the wheat berries, put it into water, and boil it, and I have not tried it, but he says it's great. Matter of fact, he prefers it that way. So you can even boil the wheat berries. In other words, you can eat them just about in any situation. That's a whole lot more than I plan to talk about today, especially since I can't even get through it all. So anyway, go to josephkitchen.com, get yourself set up with some. Also, you should get one of these devices. If you want your car to start, when the suitcase nukes, I say when the suitcase nukes go off because you got 34 prophecies. No, it's by far the most prophecies of anything out there. EMPShield.com, if you use the promo code prophecy, gets you a $50 discount, and yeah, it helps your prophecy club, which we could use right now. Okay, so I'm shocked by this. Senator Ted Cruz is talking about the border crisis, and he says, Why would they allow this invasion? And the answer is simple. They view those 11 million illegal immigrants as future Democrat voters. And I've seen several videos. And of course, obviously, people that want to come into America are allowed to come into America, and Biden allows them to come into America. They're going to get his vote from then on. They're going to be Democrats. It says Democrats are willing to abuse power and defy the law in order to stay in power. Why would they allow this invasion? They view the 11 million illegal immigrants as future Democrat voters. He also discussed that Democrats were intentionally blocking the impeachment of DHS Secretary Mayorkas, and of course now we know a couple of days later that exactly happened. As confirmation, Gateway Pundit, April 24th, a couple of days after this, Joe Biden is now mulling granting amnesty to over 1 million illegal aliens by executive order. Just signs a pen. Should not be that way, but that's what he's going to do. Joe Biden is strongly considering granting over 1 million illegal aliens amnesty. This executive order will grant legalization to illegals married to U.S. citizens who are barred from receiving green cards. 1.1 million illegal aliens are currently married to alien American citizens, and they've been denied citizenship. Why? Because they should be denied citizenship, because they entered the country illegally or they forged illegal documents trying to do so. And he's calling it a so-called parole in place. Okay, so that, I'm telling you, Biden and the Democrats are tearing our country apart. Why? Because we got to take down the Christian country in order to allow the Antichrist to rise and get on his throne. BRICS. Now Venezuela ditches the U.S. dollar for oil trade. Oh, you mean Venezuela? The one that we're buying oil from? Now they're starting to sell it into something other than oil. It seems like most of the world is doing what they can to bring America down. The move comes after the U.S. imposes sanctions on Venezuela, making it harder for the Latin country to trade. Well, that's, again, Biden pulling down our country. So they set these sanctions so that you can't use the dollar. Well, you can't just have a country trade with nothing. So they turn off the country to using the dollar like they did with Russia and India and several other countries. So they have to go to BRICS. So that's what they're doing. They're coming up with an entirely new financial system, killing the dollar. And of course, prophecies say it'll be worthless as leaves blowing in the wind. And then more good news. Lavrov says that Russia and China are now almost de-dollarized their trade. So they're totally going around the dollar. Russia and China have almost completely stopped using the dollar in their mutual trade. More than 90% of the settlements are now carried out in two countries. Their national currency is not using the dollar. Trade and economic cooperation between Russia and China is actively developing. They're killing us. Biden and the Democrats are killing us on purpose. Of course, we know it's the devil. And then behind, okay, let's go on. Ukraine hits Russia with long-range missiles secretly provided by the United States. Well, now, how do you get Russia to attack America in a surprise nuclear attack and destroy us all in 1 hour? Well, you attack them. And that's what we're doing, but they're doing it secretly, and in most news sources won't even carry it. So it says the new missiles give Ukraine nearly double the striking distance, 190 miles. And by the way, I can't remember whether I covered it yesterday. I've got it one today, but now we understand that Russia is coming up and saying, now we've got to take over more of Ukraine to give more, because of this, to give more of a buffer so that we can protect Russia. So America is actually starting this problems with Russia, if I've got the article here. Biden approved the delivery of a significant number of these $300 million worth of these missiles, and would not provide the exact number of missiles given last month or in the latest package, which totals about $1 billion. So America is sending over missiles that previously Ukraine wouldn't be able to reach Russia with them, but now they've sent missiles that they can't hit Russia with. And I've got another article, I think I've got it in this one, that says that some of those missiles have now arrived and hit Russia. The North Korean leader Kim leads rocket drills that simulate nuclear counterattack against enemies. The North Korean leader has supervised the salvo launches, the country's super-large multi-rocket launchers that simulated a nuclear counterattack against enemy targets. In other words, he's practicing on attacking South Korea. And he says that they can create their own thrust and they're guided during delivery. Now, do you think that North Korea has the technology and the smarts to build something like that? I don't. I think that they're getting it from Russia. The drill is aimed at demonstrating the strength in diverse attack means North Korea's nuclear forces amid deepening tensions with the United States and South Korea. All of this is planned to be used to take America down. All of these are detailed preparations. Kim Jong-Un has broken with decades of North Korean policy. Does it mean he's planning for war? Now, this is back in February, but I thought it's interesting. It came from CNN. The leader has brushed aside decades of his country's policy towards South Korea, now proclaiming that North Korea would no longer seek reconciliation and reunification with the South. Instead, they're calling them a permanent enemy. And it says, we no longer want war, but we're not going to avoid it. New change. If war came, the country's goal would be to occupy, suppress, reclaim the Republic of Korea. In other words, if war comes, North Korea is going to seek to control, dominate, and overrun South Korea. Kim Jong-un and Putin now vow to form a new world order in chilling warning to West as tyrants ramp up united front against the United States. They want to form a new world order. They're openly saying so. North Korea said it has agreed to further strategic and tactical cooperation with Russia as both countries ramp up a united front against the United States. They want to establish a new multi-polarized international order. Well, that's straight out of prophecy. Kim says he navigates a worsening nuclear stalemate with Washington, Seoul, and Tokyo. Tensions on the Korean Peninsula are at the highest point in years after Kim in recent months used Russia's invasion of Ukraine as a distraction to ramp up his weapons tests and military demonstrations, not just demonstrations. Kim is, from other articles, is building his military machine as fast as he possibly can, as is Russia and as China. I mean, you can look and see that we're heading to war. So why would they utterly ignore the text of the Constitution and 200 years of precedent because they desperately did not want the facts of this invasion at our southern border before the American people? Cruz continued. Now, I remind you, the angel said to Dmitry Dudman, the fall of America will start with an internal revolution in America started by the communists. Now, here it is. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. I think a lot of the people that will be fighting against the government are the illegal aliens that Biden has allowed in over the last, what would by then will be 4 years. Yeah, we don't have long. All the weapons Ukraine is set to receive from the United States and UK, here is a full list. Now listen to the list. 60 boats, including offshore raiding craft, rigid raiding craft, dive boats, maritime guns. I don't even know what maritime guns are. But the point is, we are giving rocks to the guy in the high school yard to throw at the other guy. Russia's not stupid. They know where these weapons are coming from. They know who made them, and they're killing Russians. And as I said the other day, in World War II, Russia and America were on sides, and they were going after the Nazis. Now, Russia is still going after the Nazis, but America is helping the Nazis. Ukraine is Nazis. It's the home. It's the start of Nazism. Then it went to Switzerland. Then it went to Germany, World War II. And so we're on the wrong side. Let's go on and read. 1,600 strike and air defense missiles, Storm Shadow long-range precision-guided missiles. You have to have GPS to decide to guide a lot of these. And who's going to be providing the GPS? Who's going to be giving them the coordinates and telling them how to? And it's probably Americans over there pulling the trigger too. 160 protected mobility Husky vehicles. Don't know what that is. I wasn't in the military. 162 armored vehicles, 78 all-terrain vehicles, 4 million rounds of ammunition. And that's not 9mm. Okay, it's a lot of big ones too. And so we're helping the wrong side here, and yet we're letting protesters come out here and protest against Israel The Bible says, I will bless them that bless you and I'll curse them that curse you. So right now, those people that are protesting against Israel, they are being cursed. They don't know it, but they're being cursed. The Storm Shadow long-range precision-guided missiles have already proven effective in striking Russia's Black Sea fleet. It is a deadly missile. Crucially, the package will include 4 million rounds of small arms ammunition. Okay, you get the point. Let's go on. UK's only munitions factory explodes. Accident or on purpose? I think it's an on purpose. I think people in high places are preparing to take down America, and this is part of it. Wait a minute, this is attacking UK. Yeah, well, they know that UK would probably be on the side of America in a big war, so they're pulling down and removing their weapons too. This is all part of the plan. See, we get NATO, which is, of course, the United Kingdom is part of it. We get NATO to send their weapons, to send their money, and to expend all of the weapons materials. Then we hit them and we can take them over because we've used right now, another article said that Russia is building its military like at 15 times the rate America is. NSA is just days away from taking over the internet, Snowden warns. Well, now, I haven't heard for certain, but it seems to me like they approved FISA. I'm not clear on that, but this article says, if they approve FISA, the internet is now controlled. I'm not surprised at that either. The NSA is just days away from taking over the internet, and it's not on the front page of any newspaper because no one has noticed. He says if this FISA, that's what he's talking about, bill becomes law, any company or individual that provides any service whatsoever to the internet may be forced to assist in NSA surveillance as long as they have access to the equipment on the communications or are transmitted or stored, things like routers, servers, cell towers. If they have any that connects to the internet, now they have to cooperate and turn over information to the NSA. That's what it says. Dramatic and terrifying expansions of government surveillance authority in history is taking place. Companies like Verizon and Google must turn over the communications that will include things like your emails, virtually making all of these companies spies for the bad people, our government, it's sad to say. All of this is heading to the mark of the beast, my brothers and sisters. After all, every office building in America has data cables running through it. These people are not just the engineers who install, maintain, and repair our communications infrastructure, but there are countless others who could be forced to help the government spy, including those who clean offices, guard buildings. If this provision is enacted, the government could deputize any one of these people against their will and force them to become an agent for Big Brother. Is it fair to call one amendment to the Reforming Intelligence and Security Act of the Everyone Spy provision? It'll compel a provider of any service who has access to communication equipment, in other words, the internet, to now begin to inform on people. They would likely just hand over the messages of the customers, all of our emails, all of our text messages, all of that is all handed to the government. Well, if truth be known, the government already has it. If it is flying through the air, if it's going through a cable or a fiber optic, any place on the planet, they're monitoring it, all of it. This is just making it legal. For example, by forcing an employee to insert a USB thumb drive into a server and office at night, they can get all of the information they want. And now this would make it legal. Now, why is that important? I read this a couple of weeks ago, but I'll read it again because I think this is so powerful. The Specialist, this is only part of it. 9/23/21, Coverstone. He said, the room darkened and the screen revealed running taglines saying things like, avoid the unvaccinated. These people are dangerous. Please inform authorities of all sightings. Those are the kind of things that are going to be rounding up Christians. Anybody that doesn't have the mark, anybody that doesn't go along with the New World Order, they're going to be rounded up. Now, that doesn't scare me because I gave my life and my heart to Jesus a long time ago. I'm not trying to live a long life. I'm trying to do what he told me to do. And at what time I am forced to take the mark or lose my head, you can have my head, but you're not getting my heart. I'm not denying Jesus. And I think most of you listening agree you'll do the same thing. Then the screen showed a group of about 8 people running along a ditch near a field of corn that had not been harvested. They carried backpacks and several large brown tarps. The sun was setting. They had 2 scouts closely watching ahead of them and 2 scouts behind them. When lights appeared on the road in either direction, they quickly ran into the field about 30 feet in, covered themselves with a tarp, and laid extremely still. No movement. No noise was made until the vehicle was well past them. It was a coordinated effort among the people, including children and dogs. As the threat passed, the people emerged. They ran straight ahead until they came to a T in the road. Scouts on the other side of the road were near the railroad track, flashing lights telling them it was clear to cross. They all ran quickly. Once they reached the ditch, a light blinked from the window of the garage of a home. By now it was dark, so the scouts started quietly moving a few people at a time. They had to lay flat on the ground as possible. The group crawled through the window just as it closed. Helicopters with searchlights appeared above them. They were right on them. The scene changed to an EMS alert. The signal blared loud with a reporter saying, "Martial law has been declared. Anyone caught outside after 7 p.m. would be arrested and taken to the local..." I probably shouldn't say that. But the reporter kept saying, "If you see something, say something. Safeguard your community from dangerous assailants." That's you, Christians, okay? "Do your country proud. Turn them in." David Phillips had a dream like that. No, it was a vision that the Antichrist actually told people that had worshipped him, that has his mark. He's the world authority at that time, and he sends everybody in the world out to round up all of the people that do not have the mark. Think about it. The scene changed. People were being hogtied and thrown into the back of cattle trucks and hauled off. Are we prepared? Are we prepared to be able to endure this? Or will we say, "I quit, I take the mark"? We're not going to deny Jesus. We're not. The people inside were yelling and screaming at the handlers. The handlers were all well armed. They used electric shock cattle prods to shock the people to back up. Others have shown that they have some kind of an advanced weapon that shocks people. And as they're running, they just shoot them like this, and they fall to the ground shaking, and they're knocked out. And the next thing they know, they're waking up in some cattle truck, hogtied, heading off to who knows where. Not good. The screen went blank, and the man I see often, that's the angel, said, "I take it," and I said to him, "I take it you're the specialist." "You're right, and I'll explain what you've seen if you'd like to understand." He said, "Please." Here's what you're seeing is the present future. It is the coming conservative purge. Anybody who doesn't go along with the New World Order, the mark of the beast. The Antichrist spirit is here, and yet they begin to make the purchase to deceive the world with healing blood that will mock the blood of Christ. This blood is not my blood and will never heal or forgive or restore. But they must make it appear to have power, even if it's empty. Yet many will claim and empty their will to declare its worthless virtue. You must stay braced. Every believer is about to have their bracing or their belief or their stance with Jesus tested. I warn you to take the salve from your eyes. Stop coating your life with wine, that's sin. Stay fully sober as the day has arrived for the testing of your life. In this testing, there's going to be a lot of people saved. And I want to be there to lead them to the Lord. My heart is not to try to live as long as I possibly can. My heart is to serve the Lord for as long as I possibly can. And at what time He takes me home, or at what time they make me make a decision to deny Him, my life is over. I'm happy to go and spend eternity with Him. Right now, I just want to do the best I can. I believe you people watching, that's your heart too. But I do recommend you get prepared. The Lord told Leslie that no one can prepare for every eventuality. But we should prepare as best we can. As much as we can, we should prepare. So get prepared. you prepared for the things coming. I recommend, if you want to have your wealth not lost, if you've got it in an IRA, if you got it in a 401k, if you got it in a bank, if your wealth is in paper, as Lindsay Williams said, it's worth the paper it's written on. In other words, it's about to be worthless. So I'll send you to prophecyclubgold.com. You can also reach them. Call 800-200-4653. 800-200-4653. They'll give you some ideas on what to do. That is their job, to help you not lose your wealth. So what is an EMP Shield device? It's a device you can put on your car and your house that in an EMP attack is supposed to stop the attack. And if you go to empshield.com and if you use the promo code prophecy, they give you a $50 discount. They also have videos up there, shows you how to install it on your car and your house and everything, and it's not difficult at all. I've got one of them right here. Red goes to red, black goes to black, green goes to the car, body of your car, and you just peel it off the back, stick it under there. Got another device that goes on your house. So not complicated. Take you about 10 minutes to put them in. So empshield.com, promo code is prophecy. I've not talked about our books for a long time, so I'm going to take a minute and explain them. First of all, I think this is the very best book that I've ever written, and it's called The Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, but it does not have the word rapture in it, does not discuss it. This is only talking about Bible prophecy. So the story is, in 2017, I memorized the book of Revelation. I got 30 revelations, 2 visions, and an audible voice. God showed me the word first fruits is a secret door that links Revelation and the feasts, showing the correct chronological order of Revelation. One prophetic word says there is a lock that I put over a word in the book of Revelation. I'm going to open it to you, and it will turn many books written on the end-time message into obsolete books. That's this book. Then I next wrote Miss the Mark. And it's for anyone. It's simple. It's if they read 3 pages, they'll read the whole book. If they read the whole book, they will never take the mark of the beast. Also, this tribulation secrets in Daniel is just the most important parts of Daniel that someone living in a tribulation needs to know. These are the best prophecies from the last 32 years of study and teaching Bible prophecy from Dimitri Duduman, Michael Boldale, Leslie Johnson, Henry Groover, Shane Warren, Terry Bennett, Maurice Sklar, Augusto Perez, Doug Metzger, Bree Keaton, and more. Each set of these, in other words, this is a set of 10, a set of 10, a set of 5, a set of 10, a set of 5. It's a total of 40 books. You can get one set of each, 40 books, for a gift of $100 at prophecyclub.com. We also put together a Watchman's package, which contains 2 2-foot by 3-foot charts, and my handwritten book of Revelation, 5 DVDs on the School of the Watchman, and 5 of the copies of Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, all you valued at $355 for a gift of $200. prophecyclub.com.